The next step is to create the form in the uh, main content of the web page. In this created web page, the form need to appear in this green area. This is the div with the class content area. This is the form that we have designed in our wireframe. In HTML file, the content area currently has this text, the lorem text in this green area inside a p tag. And the left hand side, we have this sidebar with dummy text, and it is showing by another div with the class side-bar. Now I'm going to delete the p tag in the div with the class content area, and I'm going to add a form in place of that. The form is inside another div, as you can see, with different color, and in that form we see a label and input element combination in labels in one column and the input elements in another column. We can see two column structure there. So inside the form tag I have added, I am going to add another div. I will give the name form-div. I will give the class as the form-div for that that div I just added. So I'm going to add the labels and text boxes inside that div. For that, I'm creating another div with the class form-label, and I'm creating another div with the class form-element. So this first div form-label will contain the the label with whatever the text we are going to display. For example, in the first label we are going to put building code. The form-element, I'm going to use the text box. So for the first div, I'm putting building code, and for the second div I'm putting input text box. I will give a ID and a name for the input text box. For this first one, it will be the txt building code. And I will add a label first, and inside the label, uh, let's add the building code like this. Label has an attribute called for. Usually we put the ID of the input box in that for attribute. In this case, txt building code, because that label is associated with the text box which has the ID txt building code. So I'm going to copy that label and text box combination, and we'll going to paste it because we need several of those. So the next one I'm going to rename as building name, and ID of the text box and the name of the text box is also going to uh, rename with the same name. And label for attribute of the label is also changed accordingly. I will copy and paste again, and will change again to show the description. Instead of a text box, it makes sense to add a text area as the building description, because we need more room to contain more text. So I'm going to add a text area instead of a text box. Also, for text area, we need to add the rows attribute and calls attribute to specify the width and height of the text area. For now, I'm going to add 4 and 6. And I'm going to copy and paste the label and text box combination again to show the building location. So after adding those, if we refresh, we see this kind of um, structure right now, but that's not what we want to see. So we have to make some adjustments. So currently the form is within the div with the class content area, and inside the form we have added another div called form-div, and we have added the form controls. So I'm going to give the text align as center to the content-area div, and so it does not make much difference. So let's see again. So inside the form we have this div with the class form-div, and it's inside the content-area div. So I'm going to give some widths for the sidebar div and content area div. First I'm giving width as 30 VW to the sidebar, and then 70 VW to the content area. Altogether that should equal to 100. So once I do that, I can see the changes as applied. So let's reduce the sidebar width to 15 VW, and we'll increase the content area width to 85 VW. And that's much better. We also need to have a separate color around the form elements. So I'm going to add another div enclosing this form. I will give the name form area to that div, and will place the form inside that div. So I'm going to target that div with the class form area, and will give a different color first.